I'm hearing neutrals say that Barca is back, that finally Barcelona are back to what we're used to seeing. And you know what I say? Let them say those things, because the neutrals all said that Barcelona were left for dead. The finances, all the issues, transfers, whatever you want to call it, Barcelona were in trouble. And now, consistent performance after consistent performance, the momentum is built up. And I feel like against Athletic Club, a team that has had Barca's number when they were struggling in the last 2 years. Barca have had a hard time conquering these demons. And one by one, whether it was a European night less than a week ago against Napoli and now against Athletic Club, even if it is at home against a second-rate Athletic Club rotated side, I don't care. 4-0, laying the absolute beatdown on Athletic Club does nothing but excite me. We saw the sauce, we saw the fun, and we saw a Barcelona team that is full of belief, believes in their manager, believes in themselves, and even had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder to let that Camp Nou crowd that either wasn't there or decided to whistle Dembele, that they're going to keep doing it for them and keep getting those goals at a rapid pace. So for the, I don't know what number game in a row, I'm excited to do this. I wasn't always excited, but I am for this one. 5 headlines from Barcelona's 4-0 win over Athletic Club. One is style versus tactics. Athletic Club does seem to often break the mold, where you can have tactics. You could say, oh, well, it's a 5 at the back, or it's whatever it's going to be. Athletic Club, especially under Marcelino, are going to do a 4-4-2. They're going to play with a little bit of ruggedness. They're going to foul you. They're going to make it physical. They're going to try to break up the play a bit. And the challenge for any La Liga team is to impose their will and their style and their tactics on Athletic Club instead of the other way around. And for Barcelona, when you have Pedri in the second half and Xavi in the first half, you can do just that. Xavi, I thought, was arguably the best player for Barca in the first half, the first 45 minutes, and I think it helps that he is kind of this Athletic Club player. So it was basically a second-rate, younger Athletic Club midfield against Xavi, and Xavi should probably be their starter. He would be their icon if he was in that midfield, because he's exactly that Athletic Club type of player. He's going to get the fouls, he's going to get fouled, he's going to get rough and tumbly, and he's going to make the runs he needs to in the Barca system. That's why, no disrespect to any of those midfielders for Athletic Club, Xavi's just a better version of them, because he does everything that the Athletic Club midfielders are asked to do, but he does it at a better rate. And while I think Xavi might be the perfect player against Athletic Club, Pedri might be the perfect player against anybody. That piece of skill, the nutmeg in the 78th minute, was ridiculous. And on that third goal, that pass after dribbling out of trouble, Pedri is ridiculous. I mean, I don't want to jump too soon. Maybe I'll calm down by tomorrow's podcast. I'm ready to make hot takes. I'm ready to say things, crazy things, right? I made that top 50 list, and I'm sitting there watching that pass on that third goal, and I'm thinking, is this kid, he's already played close to 100 matches for Barcelona. We're getting to that before you know it. Is he already a top 50 player in FC Barcelona history? I mean, it's real close. I'll have to think more about that, but there's your special little hot take for you there. Pedri was that good where I'm reconsidering things like that on a day like today. And the final point on tactics is we're seeing something being built game by game, match by match, and even by match. That De Jong pass on the second goal, he missed that exact same pass. The one where he switched it over Dembele on the left for the second goal, he missed that pass against Napoli. It wasn't a turnover then, but he whiffed on it. Today, he makes the one-touch pass, a switch play, and yeah, Dembele had a lot to do on that goal, but as I said, you are literally watching from game to game the pieces be put together and the improvements of De Jong in this system. With Xavi's tactics, it's all making a lot of sense. Remember when I said that Xavi had a certain way he wanted to play? Well, this Barcelona looks different than the one under Koeman. It looks different than the one under Valverde. And Xavi's vision, game by game, as Barca are succeeding, even if there are some rough patches as they continue to figure things out. You're not going to win every match, but when this thing is clicking and this thing is humming like it is right now, you are seeing exactly what Xavi wants to do, and it is coming to fruition with players that fit his system. I want to thank OneFootball for sponsoring this video. OneFootball is the app I use to keep me up to date on everything FC Barcelona, as well as all the other teams that Alemany might be scouting right now for a big summer transfer window. With a custom-tailored homepage, stay up to date with breaking news, live scores, and even transfer news. While on the go, you can check with matches in live time and watch videos afterwards. Use the link in the description below for a free download of OneFootball on Android or iOS to put all your football in one place. And you'll also help out a tiny Barca channel like this one too. Thanks again to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. Now back to the on-field business. 2 is another goal from a corner. It might be a minor thing because Barca did score 3 other goals, but I want to continue to harp on the theme from the 11 goals in the last 3 matches that Barcelona are making their own luck. It was 75% possession, or something very similar to that, when Barcelona scored their first goal of this game. And it was 0-0 for quite some time, so don't let that 4-0 scoreline fool you. And Piqué hitting the crossbar, Aubameyang being in the right spot, Aubameyang just having an eye for goal. This is Barcelona making chances and, unlike in the first half of the season, finishing chances. And I'm not downplaying the other 3 goals because they, as a culé, were the more fun to watch. But the first goal, getting that difficult one, getting the first one against Athletic Club is always the hardest, in football, to break down a team like Athletic Club. But once that goal went in and Athletic Club needed a goal to get some kind of result, were on the road, had their backs against the wall, and Barca just saw the blood in the water. That's what Xavi says, right? That killer instinct, see the blood in the water, and then their talent, their magic, it all came out for those other 3 goals and afterwards. And it all starts because that first goal, regardless of how it happened, went in the back of the net. That second goal, Dembele's goal, what a finish. And then Luuk de Jong's, a good cross from Dembele. And goodness gracious, I already mentioned, but Pedri dribbling through forward, then that switch of play. Pedri in the second half was completely on one. And then rounding it out, that fourth goal, a difficult cross from Dembele at the death. Barca kept on fighting. And you could see it even that first half when that first goal went in. Aubameyang wanting Ferran Torres to score a goal. And in the second half, Dembele, still to the very death, saying, hey, Memphis Depay, welcome back to the party. Here, you get your goal too. It's great to see everybody getting in on the action, putting goals in the back of the net. That's what this game comes down to, right? That's what fans like to see. That's what we all enjoy. And Pedri, Gavi, Busquets from the midfield, they're also doing it in build-up, in style. 3 is Aubameyang and Ferran Torres are making sense. Sometimes players, I'm a big NBA guy, sometimes players just need that change of scenery. That fresh start. So I have some examples for you. Nicholas Batum from the Hornets to the Clippers. Kevin Love once the team got better in Cleveland. James Harden every time he forced his way out of a team. And Aubameyang was that. Maybe they're not the best examples, but this is a guy at 32 who still had a lot to give and just needed a change of scenery and a system that would get the best out of him. For Adama, it's a little different. Coors are getting treated to this best version of him. But Aubameyang, he was this kind of player when he played for Borussia Dortmund. He was certainly this player, you remember, for Arsenal not that long ago. He was the captain for a reason. And now you're seeing that Aubameyang still had a lot left in the tank. And in this system, he makes obvious sense with Ferran Torres. Is Aubameyang coming from the left or through the middle? And then where's Torres? Watching Athletic Club try to answer those questions over and over again, even with Inigo Martinez's introduction, was a joy to watch. And Torres being desperate for a goal is a fair criticism, but it's also fundamentally flawed. I would get the criticism if he was letting his midfield down and not tracking back or getting in the way of other attackers, but it just looks like he really wants to score. And he's a forward. I know I'm oversimplifying a bit to be sarcastic, but as I keep saying on the podcast, I'm not worrying about a player that has 2 goals and 3 assists in 9 matches and playing for a team that can't stop scoring. I'm totally fine waiting or being a little bit patient for a guy that is clearly desperate to join in on the fun. 4 is that Piqué and Araujo are in peak form. They've had their injuries, they've had their suspensions. Ter Stegen has had his issues behind them. But clearly from this match, I don't care if it was first rate, second rate, Inaki Williams coming on, Nico Williams coming on, flanked by Alves and Dest, who are also good. I wish I had more time. That's for the podcast tomorrow. But as good as Alves and Dest were in this match, they're able to take chances. They're able to get forward because Piqué and Araujo did not get a foot wrong today. They were unbelievable. And I'm going to overhype a shutout because Barcelona in recent times have not had shutouts. And of course, the way that Barca play are always, especially with Busquets and his lack of speed in the middle, are going to leave Piqué and Araujo in trouble. But they certainly were never, ever looking in danger today. They were always in the right spots. Piqué is just doing things for fun in front of that Camp Nou crowd. These guys, just like the attackers, are feeling themselves in the right way today. 5 is rotation from Athletic Club. 4-0. I mean, it was 2-0 for a while there. It was 1-0 for a while there. I say conquering the demons. Is this really a Supercopa or Copa del Rey final or semi-final Athletic Club team? No, it was heavily rotated. I don't mean to make an excuse here, but I'm glad Barcelona took care of business. They took care of the team that was in front of them. Because all you could do is beat the team that Marcelino put on the field. But it does feel a little bit like Athletic Club and the team that Marcelino put out there doesn't really allow Barcelona to feel like they completely got over the Athletic Club hump. With Copa del Rey semifinals coming up midweek, there was no Munian, no Iñaki Williams at the start, no Yuri, no Nico Williams, no Inigo Martinez to start, no Unai Nunez, no Sunset, no Danny Garcia, or Oscar de Marcos. Vesca, Vencedor, Zaraga, and Nico Serrano is the youngest starting midfield for Athletic Club against Barca that I can remember. So Marcelino, good luck in the Copa del Rey. I think he's one of the best managers, not only in Spain, but I think in world football at the moment. So you got to take your chances. And it's good for Barcelona that, not about the Europa League or anything, but getting knocked out of the Copa del Rey for the first time in quite some time means that they're not actually contending with that midweek game like they usually are. Because Barcelona in recent years have always been in the semifinal of the Copa del Rey. And this year, knowing they have a full week off now to worry about next weekend, and then, of course, it's the Europa League Galatasaray after that, but having a full week off means, hey, at home, take care of business, start your best 11, and even give Frankie de Jong a rest. Bring Memphis back on. Barcelona are looking deep. They're looking fresh, they're looking deep, they're looking healthy, and Ansu Fati, take all the time that you need in the world because Barcelona are flying high at the moment, and I'm loving it. So check that out and more on the podcast tomorrow. And, there's still demons to conquer, certainly, but I'm loving the way that this team is playing right now, and I know you are too. So until next time, Forza Barca.